Okay, so now we have learned all the different stuff about text animation, After Effects essential techniques and stuff. Now we will try to create a proper text animation in After Effects, and we are going to use the concept of adjustment layer and null object as well. Okay, so let's try to do it from scratch. So let's delete this text layer. I don't need that, and I'm going to press Ctrl Y to create one solid background layer. Press Ctrl Y, and this time I'm going to choose black color because I want black color, and simply hit OK and hit OK. Then I'm going to lock this layer. Then I'm going to type my text over here, and let's type our text. I'm going to type motion itself, and this time I'm going to choose white color for this text. And I'm going to select this and make sure that your paragraph is going to be the center text, and press Ctrl Alt Home. Go to the Align tab, align it horizontally, align it vertically, press S for scaling, and we will scale it like this. Okay, looks awesome to me. And now we will try to animate this text. Obviously, we are going to choose our animator. Let's minimize all of the stuff. Go to the animator, and I'm going to animate positions. So simply go inside this position, and initial position, I want it over here. Okay, go to the range selector, and we will animate this, but before that we will try to adjust the position and other properties. Now along with this position, I'll go to the property, and I want tracking as well, and I'm going to reduce the tracking somewhere around like this. Okay, similarly along with this tracking, I'll go to this property again, and I'm going to choose opacity, and I'll make this initial opacity 0. So now if I try to animate that, I'll go to the start value, and I'll go to second layer, and I'm going to make this value 100. Now let's select this layer, and I'm going to hit F9, and if I hit spacebar, I'll get this kind of animation. Now this is very plain, so I'll go to the graph editor, right click, and I'll make sure that I'm going to choose edit speed graph. I'll select this graph. By holding shift, I'm going to move one handle over here, and I'm going to move one handle over here. So now if you see, we are gonna get something like this. Okay, and let's minimize it. Obviously we will get this kind of animations, and now what we need to do is that I need to create duplicates of it over here, and so I'll hit Ctrl D. And now I'm going to change the color of this one to yellow, so it would be easy for us to decide that this layer is different, and I don't want to look at this layer, so I'll hide this. And for this layer over here, I'll go to the character menu, and I want black color for this text, and for the stroke I want white color, and stroke width I'm going to choose 3, or let's say 1 pixels only, like that. And let's select this, and let's bring this downward. So what will happen, that this layer is going to be at the back of this layer, and I'm going to select this layer, press P for position, and let's bring this layer over here like this. Okay, and press S for scaling option and scale it like this. Similarly, select this layer and hit Ctrl D, select this third layer, press P for position, and let's bring this over here, press S for scaling option and scale it like this. Okay, then I'm going to select this layer over here. I'll hit Ctrl D, press P, and I'm going to bring this layer downward like this. Okay, similarly I'm going to select my selection tool. I'll select this layer, and I'll hit Ctrl D, press P, and let's bring this downward over here like this. Okay, so we are gonna get something like this. Now what we need to do over here is that if you see this, we are gonna get this kind of animation. Now what I want is that I want this layer as well as this layer should be in one composition. So I'll press Ctrl Shift C to pre-compose this, and I'm going to name it as BG text, and simply hit OK, and let's hide this. Similarly, I'll select this layer as well as this layer, and if you see, the distance is not normal, so let's try to bring this a little bit downward like this. Select this, and let's try to adjust it over here. If you want, then you can align it horizontally and vertically, and let's try to adjust the distance like this. Okay, now this distance looks cool to me. Let's select these two layers and press Ctrl Shift C, and let's call it as BG text or BG text 2, and hit OK, and let's hide this as well. So now we have these two layers, one with this one with this one, and one with this one. Now I need a distance between their animation, so I'll take a distance of, let's say, 10 frames. I'll select this bg text and I'll bring this over here, or you can simply hit open square bracket. Simply I'll go to over here, I'll select this third layer and I'll hit open square bracket. So what will happen, that I'll get a distance between these animations. Now over here we are going to use our masking concept. So for the second layer, which is this one, I'm going to select my mask layer and let's hide all of this. Just we will see this layer, and I'm going to select my rectangle tool, and over here I'm going to create one mask like this. Okay, but this time what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on this inverted mask. I forgot to tell you about this option. If you click on it, it will invert the mask like this. Okay, and then I can go to the mask option and I can increase the mask feathers like this. Okay, similarly I'm going to select this layer over here. Let's select this and let's create a mask like this on this layer over here, and go to the mask option, and we are going to increase the mask feathers, but before that make sure that it's inverted and increase the mask feathers like this. And now if you see this animation, we will get something like this. Okay, like that. Now what we need to do is that I need to adjust the scale of this entire stuff, but it is not easy. For example, if I select all of this, I'll press S and I can adjust the scale. But if you see, whenever I'm going to increase the scale, the proportionality is not normal. Like this is the scaling of this one is different and scaling of this one is different. So at that time what I can do is that I can right click new and I can create null object. Now in previous video we have seen this option. Right now we will see what is the use of it. Now what in After Effects there is a concept called parenting. Now whenever if you want to select that and I want to control the position of it, so what, or scaling of it or rotation of it, what I can do, if you press F4 again, as you guys can see there is a switch between this option. One option is common, which is known as parent and linking. What this does, for example, if I select all of this, and in parent and linking you will get this link option, and if you make it linked with this null object, then what will happen, that now this null object is going to control all of them. So if I select my selection tool, if I select my null object, and if I move it to wherever I want like this, and the thing about this null object is that this null object is only visible in this viewport. In final output you cannot see this null object. Okay, that's why it is known as null, but it's still there. So with the help of this null object, now I can press S and I can adjust the scale of it like that. I can make the scale 83, 85, and I can press R for rotation as well. And if I want to rotate, I can do that as well. So right now I don't want any rotation. I'm just going to adjust the scale of it like this. Similarly, now suppose I want to change the entire text color. For example, instead of this black background I want different color, and instead of this I want different color. So what I can do, I can press Ctrl Shift Y and I can choose white color over here. I need to go inside this, I need to change the color of this one to different layers over here. Like this one should be white and this one should be black. Similarly this one should be white and this one should be black. Okay, so this kind of things I need to do same over here, but I don't want to follow this procedure. So instead of that, what I can do over here is that I can create one effect over here which is known as tint. So for that what I can do is that if you go over here like this, and if I go to the effect and presets panel, and if I apply tint effect on it, let's type a tint effect, and if I double click to apply, as you guys can see you will get this option. And if you swap this color, as you guys can see, we will get different results. So what this option does is that, for example, if you select this, let's enable this layer only, let's hide all of them. Now if you see this layer, there are two kinds of colors only, black and white. If I apply tint effect on it, and if I swap this color, from name itself it will swap those colors. It will convert black into white and white into black. Same procedure for this one as well. I can select this, I can tint effect and I can apply swap. Similarly for this text as well, I have already did that. Similarly, for this black solid, if I apply tint effect, I can swap this color. Okay. And for this one, we don't need to swap this. We will need to something like this only. Okay. And now if I see this, I'll get something like this. But if you see properly over here, this tint effect is commonly applied for everyone. So instead of applying on each and every one, what I can do over here is that I can use another layer known as adjustment layer. So I can create new, and I can create one adjustment layer, and if I apply tint effect on it, and if I swap this color, then what will happen, it will be applied to all the layers which are after this adjustment layer. Okay, by chance if I select this adjustment layer, if I apply it over here, as you guys can see, now this tint effect is not has been applied on this uppermost layers, because this adjustment layer over here, only effect it will apply which are after this adjustment layer. So if I bring this on the top, I'll get different results. If I swap this color, I'll get different results. And it's not just about black and white. If you go over here, you can choose different color as well, and you can swap it as well. So you can change the color of this one anywhere you want. Okay, now this looks good to me, and if I hit play, I'll get this kind of animation. So this is the concept of null object and adjustment layer inside of After Effects.